Wow, happy solar return. It's June 26th. And what a power-packed reading we have today. When we look at your reading, wow, you are back dab down there in the past, way in the past, looking at logical things. Okay, so how did this happen? How can you possibly be all the way back in the past? I mean, right here's the present, that line right there. All this is the future. Here's the past, but I mean, this is like ancient stuff. Are you doing a genealogy research paper or something like that? Are you conducting a DNA test? Are you considering what your lineage actually is? Well, I want to urge you to do so because a DNA test, look at here's your maternal line. I love it. Okay, and look, this ancient paternal stuff too. Well, you can see your fathers for a while, then you have to look at the maternal stuff. So here you go. This is your reading for today. Your assignment is to get a DNA test. You just have to do it because you know what? There are like 50 generations between here and here. And that is so rich. You didn't come from a tiny little village of a few people who intermarried and were just, descendants of the original alien human virus, okay? So let's not even talk about my theories on aliens, okay? And where humans came from. There's nobody who comes from the original stuff. There's nobody who is of pure race or blood, okay? If you are, then you are a product of incest, okay? So here we go. I want you to go and do this DNA test and come back and let me know what you found, because between this earliest ancestor that you can find and the present are all kinds of activities, all kinds of events, births, marriages, twins, triplets. There is some incest. There are definitely all kinds of races in here. Okay, you're going to have all kinds of races in here. You're going to have a beautiful, rich history. That's what I love. That's what I want for this planet. If I were a megalomaniac, I want everybody to just, mix and mingle and just love each other and be wonderful to each other. So right now, I want you, in fact, it's not me. The bones are saying you're supposed to go and do this DNA test. You're supposed to do it right now. See, the reason I'm saying you are on a logical path is because you're looking this way. And just like with tarot, there are certain setups there, like the Celtic cross and things like that, those types of spreads, those types of castings. Well, in my circle, in this method of throwing the bones, we've got the present, future, past. We got logical, creative, ancient, ancient, creative, and ancient, logical, maternal and paternal. There are all kinds of timelines. And all kinds of grids, imaginary grids on this thing, even swirls, okay? That's why we see things happening in arcs sometimes as well. So, your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is to get a DNA exam, a DNA test. And if you've already done one, I want you to here's what you're supposed to do, okay? You're supposed to do the research on how things were in that area, in that time period for men and women. The sexes weren't always treated equally. We still haven't had a women president, so I'm not quite sold on it yet. And we still have to fight for basic rights. Let's talk about women, okay? And some men do too. So I want you to go and remember this advice and counsel for today. Go back and get a DNA test. Find out who your earliest ancestor, detectable ancestor is, and research the heck out of it. Find out what was going on. See if any of that stuff is reflected in your life, because it is amazing to know how many generational ideas are passed down and then you become the recipient of, or maybe you embody it. Then look at the next oldest one that you can detect. Do the research on that time period. See what was going on. See if there's a connection between the first one and the second one. Maybe this country invaded that country, and so on, you know? I'm telling you, it's better than a fiction movie, better than any kind of documentary to go and look and see what actually happened in your past. You will find new respect for your ancestors. And although that's saying respect your ancestors is something that a lot of young spiritual people do, they don't actually do it. They don't respect them because they don't really know anything about them. They assume things, but they don't know. Find out who your ancestors are, not who your coven buddies' ancestors are. Find out about yours. And let me know what happens. I mean, this is exciting today. So have a happy solar return and a happy June 26th.